I'm back. It's sharing time. And look at me. Did I do it quicker this time? Did I get to you quicker? I told you I would have it down. Let's see. How are you today? Oh, so much has happened since we have last talked. It's only been one day since I was here. Only one day. And whew, seems like a whirlwind. At least on this end. So, give a few minutes for people to come on. Yes. Okay. Remember now, I would like to invite you, let's get this out the way. Please, 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 please subscribe. There's an invitation that has been sent out to all the new subscribers and viewers to subscribe and join this family that we talk about everything that a personal life would consist of. Not just one thing on this channel, many, many, many things. So come on, check us out. Push that subscribe button. I would like to, first of all, I am not going to do the whole grounding session. I've already did a lot of that this morning. Had to clear a lot of energy. So I do want to send out love and light. Before we get started, I'm sending it to every soul upon this earth. Love and light, peace and calm. Hello, hello. Peace and calm, joy, clarity. So I also, I'm everywhere already. Everything everywhere all at once. I am getting to the point to where I am pushed to, I have bought me some berets. You know, the French berets, the hat, the revolution, because yes, I am there now. I have to say the revolution will be televised in the most benevolent way, of course, because this has gone too far. This is crazy. So if you want to join me, and so hopefully tomorrow, what is tomorrow? Today's Friday, so no later than Sunday. Today is the 21st, February 21st. So no later than Sunday, when I'm in my mood, I'm going to be wearing my revolution hat. So it can be pink, right? It can be revolutionary in pink. We can stand up for our women's right, for our people's right. But get your revolutionary hat, because I'm going to be wearing mine, all right? A French beret revolutionary hat. The revolution will be televised. Is that not how that saying goes? I'm there now. So why am I there? Because of this complete nonsense that is happening right here in our country. So I've been sharing. Now remember, this is also for entertainment purposes only. Total entertainment purposes only. Oops. I'm going to drop that. I'm getting used to this technology. And I would also like to say I have put out a call to the universe to send me a video editor. So, with that being said, let's say thank you. Hey baddies. Welcome. Thank you. So, I am sharing all for entertainment purposes only what is happening for those that are not aware. Simply sharing. Now, let's talk about what is being done with Musty Musk and what he's in there doing. Did you know how he's in there supposedly saving us money by doing something that he wasn't elected to do? Well, let's give some numbers here and clarity. And I heard this from Representative Crockett. Okay, she knows her stuff. She really knows her stuff, and she is on that board. And she has been calling for Elon to come to the board and share this transparency, because anything that we are hearing simply is something that he decided to post. Now, we already know that he awarded himself, after taking away all of our monies and firing people in the different departments. Welcome, Mobin. That he has awarded himself not only 300 million plus to SpaceX. Good morning, Coffee Cup. I take you in every morning. Not only has he awarded himself 300 million plus for SpaceX, but he also has been awarded 400 million to his Tesla company. Put your questions. If you want to ask a question, go ahead and put it in there, and I will do my best to answer. I also am a challenge techie person, so the chat kind of goes away, and I do have it's a 60-second delay before I see it, and then it also disappears. Welcome from India. Welcome. You know what? I like to say thank you to all the people around the world. I don't know if you've listened to me before on how I've talked about our socialization and how I think that we're socializing more simply because it involves people around the world. And before we had these wonderful platforms to be able to share our opinions, then we only got our socialization from within our personal circles. But now we get to socialize worldwide and meet people and talk and communicate and share in ways that we would have never been able to do before. So now back to Mr. Musty. Him and Diaper Dawn are, I'm beyond thinking that this is just MAGA. I'm past that now. I think it was a look over here situation, because that's close to 1 billion, it's like 800 million that has been awarded to Musty Musk. We did have former Pence tweet in and try to give his opinions about what is happening, and to say that no, Ukraine did not start the war, that it was Russia that started it. Okay, yeah, too little too late, Mr. Pence. You should have been speaking up when you had the opportunity to stand for what was right when you were in office. So to say something now, my opinion, too little too late. Now, I did see, let me speak worldwide, since somebody made the question about Kurdistan. So when it comes to Netanyahu, when Israel first had the Hamas and Israel situation, when it first occurred, the very first thing that came to me was Netanyahu had something to do with the starting of that. He was in complete compliances, entertainment purposes only. Okay? I felt like he met with other world leaders and was a part of something, and he started that. Now let me back up and go to now. I do not recall if I said it on here or not. I know I said it to my, people around the house and, people that I know. I know I said then that I felt that Israel was going to do something that after they got some of the hostages back, Israel was going to do something to make it look like Hamas was still doing nefarious acts, and that he was going to start bombing, even though he knows all those people have returned back, and that he was going to start bombing. Because when there was real conflict after on 4th and October 4th, October 7th, when it first originally happened, and there was all that, like the way that he was mercilessly bombing. Now, please let me say this. I'm speaking against Netanyahu and his actions. I'm not speaking against any Israelis, and I'm not speaking against any Islamic individuals, because just because you have a different religion does not mean that you are of nefarious nature. Okay? We are all unique individuals, and we must have differences in order for us to be able to evolve and grow within our own filters and our own understandings of what we know. So within that, I'm not saying anything against Israeli people or any Hamas or Palestinian or nothing along those lines. I'm speaking about the actions of these individuals that are leading these countries. Netanyahu, I said that he was going to start bombing, and even though all those people are there. Now we have information that came out that 3 buses, they were empty, that got bombed, that had bombs on them. And then when they're saying that it just went off early, these detonated devices went off early, and that it was supposed to happen when people were in their rush hour time after, I'm gonna say not Passover, the one day of rest. Okay, forgive me for my ignorance and lack of knowledge. I'm just piecing together what I know, what is coming to me. So I find it very ironic that as soon as it happens, you can jump on and say, okay, this was high technology, it was military grade, and it was this, that, and the other. I feel it is all a distraction. All a distraction. Okay? And he did that. He had something to do with that. That was his actions. So, with that being said, when he does what he's going to do with doing more bombings with people that have returned back home to their homeland, it's going to start up bigger wars. It's going to cause other countries to step in. It's going to cause Iran. We are in dark times. This is just what it is. If those who are with planetary alignments have knowledge of planetary alignments, okay? We are in times of an alignment that has not been before in our lifetimes. And the last time there were alignments close to this was during World War II times, German Nazians and all that stuff. So that's my opinion of what's getting ready to happen all around. Because now we got, and let me bring back to these United States and all the firings that are going on and so forth. And the one big thing that Diaper Don just did, he literally put himself in a position that has named himself as king. And then you would say, okay, well, what difference does that make? If he names himself as king, he's not my king, he's not my president or anything along those lines. Just by changing things the way that he is changing them and naming himself as a king, and the different structuring and the executive orders that is coming along, he is setting himself up for dismantling the Constitution. Because nobody on that's standing behind him right now in Congress is standing up and doing the right thing. We literally just had a town hall take place in Georgia, and the congressman in Georgia of a deeply red district was attempting to speak to his constituents. Now, I personally don't think those were all his constituents in there. I do believe that it was a lot of Democrats in there as well, from listening to the questions of what I did hear. But in the answering that he was given, he never clearly answered anything, and he was given a lot of credit to what Musty and Diaper Don are doing. Where does he stand? Literally was trying to give himself credit in his calling himself that he's a smart man and he knows what he's talking about, and referring to the CDC and the people that they've let go there. We've got the CDC individuals being fired, nuclear stock plant, the Bonneville Dam. I thought the Bonneville Dam was just like for Washington, Oregon, and Northern California, but it's also Utah and Montana that supplies the power grid for all of those people right there. This is why I'm to the point of get that beret, and when I'm seriously, the beret I'll have on my black beret. And when I'm going to have on my black beret and black sunglasses because I'm ready. Now, backing it down to love, I'm going to put on my pink beret. Point being is, we've got to stand up. We've got to do something. And it was back in 21 or 22, I had a vision that I saw myself out protesting. And I immediately dismissed it because I'm like, what can be so bad that can get me out there? Because I'm not the one to get out there with the sign, I'll support you. I mean, it would have to be really, really, really bad. And I'd like to think that this is the level or to being out there in the protesting that I saw for myself. What I am doing right now, sharing information as to what is going on, because you don't just sit back and allow somebody to bully you and beat you up. You need to fight back. And you can fight back in a benevolent way. You can stand up for yourself. You can stand up for your home. You can stand up for your country. You can stand up for your way of life without it being nefarious, without it being evil. You can protect yourself. And this is what we need to do. Okay? Because I've said it before and I've said it again, I'll say it again. I do not think anything's going to slow down. I seriously believe this is going to continue to steamroll and dismantle. But here is the thing. It does not have anything to do with MAGA like I originally thought it did. I really feel it is gone. It is beyond that. Why do I say that? So for those of you who know Jennifer Lisa Vest, I call her a storyteller because I watch her and she tells stories. And so, I have nicknames for everybody, and she's storyteller. And when she was mentioning about the 7 merchants of the realm and how they each, like Elon wants to be of the skies, and here he has SpaceX, and now he's sending his employees, some of his employees, over to the FAA for the people that they fired. So there's the air. You got Bezos with shipping. Oh, and now Diaper Don talking about the next department he's going to be taking over is the U.S. Postal Service. That really, and so the joy is getting ready to go. All right, that would have been a happy song for us a little while ago. But anybody who then began to work with with Democrats and do anything in a positive way, those are the people that he's going after. So he's literally going to even be getting rid of the joy. We do need to find a middle ground, and we do need change. We do need to get rid of waste and corruption. We need all of that. We need cleanup in our education, but we don't need our education department dismantled simply because you want to be in control of folks, because you want to keep folks dumbed down, because you want to keep people uneducated so that they don't know what is going on. Let's think back. When was that a law? Here in the United States, it was for black people. Black people, especially at slavery times and in the evolving, were not allowed to have an education. They were not allowed to learn how to read, any of that. Why was that? It was to keep them under control. It was to keep them uninformed so that they could be easily controlled. We literally have these oligarchs, we can go ahead and call them oligarchs, that have literally called us musty man. He's literally called us parasites. He has literally called this country easily to manipulate, easily to control. That one dude, what's his name? Yarvin. He says that we are easily to rule. We are easy to rule? Come on. I'm just saying. I know I'm everywhere, but I've got to get it all out in the way that it is coming out. In this FAA with the planes and all that kind of stuff, we had another planes collide in Arizona. How many plane crashes do we need to have in this country? It's kind of unnerving to think that you want to go buy a plane ticket to go fly somewhere. A little bit unnerving. Me, my butt's staying on the ground for now. Okay? I'm just saying. Y'all sort that out. I'm staying on the ground. Now, let me get back. You got Zuckerberg for Facebook. Day before yesterday, I officially deactivated my Facebook account. We've got to fight back. We have given the people, these individuals, power based upon our economic spending. So based upon our economic spending is the way we fight back. They want money, don't give it to them. So that means we have to then boycott our spending. Be very, very careful within our spending. So, and that includes the platforms that you go on. So if you're still a part of X, fly on over to Blue Sky. I don't do any of that. Literally, I can say that YouTube is the only platform that I am on. I'll be the first to admit that I am technically challenged. So hopping from platform to platform, doing this, that, and the other, it just isn't within me. But I'm here now. I'm doing the best I can. I'm accepting the challenge of being more technically knowledgeable, along with my video editor. So anyway, digress. So we have to, now on the 28th, for those who you do not know, on the 28th of this month of February, it is a do not buy day. Do not spend a penny. Do not spend a drop. Nothing, okay? No gas, do everything beforehand. Don't go out to eat, no fast food, don't grocery shop, don't do anything as far as putting money out there. Let's grab them by the balls, both of them, on that day in the best way that we can, all right? And then after that, then it's a matter of, all right, what's my lifestyle going to be? Because I can tell you, I literally want to grab a box of tissue when it comes down to Amazon. You just don't know how much Amazon is up my alley. Because I have been a person where I did foster care, I did in-home care for a period of time, and so I dealt with children on a large level within my home. So when I went grocery shopping, I went grocery shopping. I would literally have two baskets, one for the food and one for the little kids that I had, and I would literally manage this in the grocery store. Anyway, I used to always say, man, I wish we can get delivery. I wish I can get my groceries delivered to my home. 2020 came along and boom. Thank you, universe. But I did not know Bezos and what he was really about. When I heard that Bezos literally said, he wants his people, his employees, to wake up every single day and be terrified. And he wants them terrified all day long. Because terrified people are productive people. So, Amazon. So you got Amazon, which is Bezos, with shipping. And there's Amazon Prime. Now, you may not be able to exclude everything, but something, reduce it, something. Um, the this talk on Palestine, like people who want to talk about taking over another country is madness. It's the same thing if somebody was to break into your own house. What would you do? You're not going to just let them take it. At least I hope you won't. Y'all going to be fighting, right? That's what was happening with Ukraine. Russia done jumped into Ukraine's house. Ukraine saying, no, this is my house. Get out. And then they're rustling and tussling, fighting and all that kind of stuff. And so now Russia's backing up and say, okay, fine. I'll get out. But I want this half of the house. And I want those, that part of your garden. How many is going to just lie down and say, okay, I agree? No, you're going to fight back. You're going to do what you're going to do to get that intruder out. And this is no different. Look at different perspectives, different ways, you know. Anyway, let's continue. So I mentioned with, we all know about Musty Musk with Tesla. Oh my goodness, and that's a hard one too. My partner, my love, he has a Tesla. This was before we knew anything. And now we're like, oh my goodness. We're literally talking like, what should we do? Because we have zero support. There's other electric cars, but you know, there's the financing that went on with the car and all this kind of stuff. It's a whole. But people also, let me say this, those that are out there attacking Tesla owners, people who own Tesla products, that's wrong. Because this kind of stuff, these, like for example, within this household, was purchased before we had knowledge of who he was simply doing it based on doing better for the environment. Okay, loved it, still love it, but I'm not getting that. So just so you know, it's still a conversation and we're trying to figure this out. So Twitter, fly away from that. This is a boycott. We've got to hit them in their pockets. You have the somewhere in there is the Airbnb. I have to get the person, the individual's name, because I don't recall that. But those are areas where you can not put your money. Walmart, another one. Yes, it's a big corporation, but with the DEI, they're the ones with the DEI policies. We have to not support companies that are walking along with this DEI nonsense and removing individuals and sending out dog whistles that if you know a company that is being hiring people based upon DEI principles or practices or whatever, that you are to report them so that they are now can be under investigation. Let me tell you who else is now. Do you know? This is the time that I should have on the black beret and the sunglasses. They are introducing the Department of Justice wants to press charges against people of Congress that speak out against the current administration. What the fuck? We can't have a view? We can't have a voice? But yet, these individuals can sit up there and name call and put down but now you want to press charges against congressmen that speak out against the administration, that speak out. This is why we must rise up and fight back. And these laws are being changed so quickly. And then even going into court and the courts that are saying what they're giving their rulings and so forth, what makes you think that he's going to sit up there referring to Diaper Dawn? What makes you think that he's going to listen to the rulings that the courts gave. You got Musk sitting up there saying any individual, what does he say? The judge should be impeached that was against making the rulings that they were making. Here we got Elon again in our government. How are you calling for impeachments? They're sitting up there introducing a bill to make Diaper Don's face up on Mount Rushmore. David, and I said this one, and I don't know if I said it on camera, but I know I said it around the house, introducing a bill to make Diaper Don's birthday a national holiday. He already done made himself a king. Have you seen that picture with that crown on his head? And then wrote the executive order that him and the Attorney General are the final deciders on what the law is, in the interpretation of the law. What happened to our lawmakers? What is happening here? There was a town hall, and I know I'm everywhere, but hey, it is what it is, because everything is everything all at once. They had a town hall last night here in Georgia, of course, I spoke on this, and these people are trying to ask these congressmen, and they are right along with Diaper Don and Elon, supporting it, and then not truly answering any questions. Let me mention these names. Peter Thiel, and he is the sugar daddy to J.D. Vance for entertainment purposes only. Look it up. Peter Thiel is the one for Palantir. It's a company or whatever. Now there's a stock with this, and I'm mentioning that because in our boycotting and removing money from individuals, these companies, it would include your stocks. It would include your financial portfolio. If you're not doing it yourself and you have a broker for you, contact your broker and see. And this is I'm not giving financial advice. I'm suggesting. I am sharing. I am damn near venting. I guess I can say I'm venting. I am just for entertainment purposes only. Don't give them your money in any form or fashion. Contact or make your own financial decisions within yourself. You got Tesla stock. You got Amazon stock. Palantir. OpenAI. Airbnb. Coinbase. That dude is Brian Armstrong. You got Elon Musk. You got Ben Horowitz. You have David Sachs. Now, when I say that this is going on far past MAGA, once I saw Steve Bannon then begin to make the comments that he is making, that's when it clicked. Oh, they were a distraction. They were a look over here. Because who is actually doing, besides the Christian nationalists and the Federalist Society, and having all those people in the administrative roles, you have these oligarchs. And it's a damn near, it is a coup that is happening right before our eyes, but it literally links to Putin. Elon having conversations and so forth, it was talked about, chattered about, that past years, few years past, Elon was already having conversations with Putin. When you take these individuals that have these government contracts, these defense contracts, and they have the weapons, and they have the technology, this goes beyond MAGA. This goes beyond And I really want to be able to piece it together for you, but most of this is intuition and a little bit of, because for the longest, I was like, I couldn't see the Civil War. I couldn't see fighting. I kept asking the question, what does it look like? What does this breakdown look like? And I believe it is in the form of the way that this country is being dismantled. All of these firings that is happening. Do you know one of the firings that took place was the head of cybersecurity for the government? Or we just want to allow hacking now? Or do we want to allow the back door? Are we opening the back door for people now if you're going to fire the head of cybersecurity? I swear hopefully I'm making a point here. Our national parks, watch those people those things get sold off. The land. Okay, bring it back to me, universe. Bring it back to me. Because I really don't want to be upset. I really want to stay positive. I would ask the question, what would it look like? How does this take place? Excuse me, within the breakdown of our country. You had Hurricane Helene happen. Come through. And then cleanup needs to be done. Financial assistance is given. And now more assistance is needing because the cleanup, it still is, in disastrous shape. Request for additional assistance, federal response was no. You have Kentucky that has their flooding. They asked for federal assistance. The response has been yes, but I did mention before, watch this space and see what happens. Because I still firmly believe we're going to have some major earthquakes. We already have the fires in LA, and of course that's nowhere near to be rebuilding having begun because you still have all the insurance settlements that need to take place, and you cannot do anything until after they've gone and inspected, and because it's it's not even safe to live even for those that still have housing that did not get burned down, but because of all the chemicals and everything that is in the air and so on and so forth, it's not even safe for those people to live in that area. And then let's add in mudslides. Let's add in the rains. It's not going to be livable for a long, long time. And this will be, you're not even talking about the earthquakes when that happens. So I'm mentioning all of these natural disasters, and then at the same time, the government breaking down and firing these people, and the funding not being there, and boldly stepping in and not allowing Congress, who's supposed to be the purse holders, they're supposed to be the money holders in the dispersing, but no. It's Elon right now. And then he's going to sit up there and talk about floating the idea. I don't know if it was rumor from what he's heard or whatever the case may be, but talking about giving money back to the people because it's your money in the first place and we've saved you all this money. So, yeah, we're talking about sending a check for $5,000. Y'all, wake up. Back it up. When has a rich person of that nature wanted to see the workers that are putting money into his pocket do better so that they don't have to work? No, it's just not happening. They're sitting up there firing. How you gonna fire 6,000 people for the IRS? What? Not too upset about that one, but I am upset about the people in their jobs. You're cutting the social services that are for these individuals that needed assistance in the first place. Not everybody is nefarious. You're deporting immigrants whom are a large portion of our food source within this country. And if you're not able to be out there picking the crops, canning the foods, in the meat departments, if you've taken away the labor force for that, and like I said, I mentioned before, don't worry. All these Americans whom he has fired in all these other positions, hey, there's jobs over there that you can do for the meantime. Watch it come out. There's already memes about it. I saw some that was just, it tickled me. But yeah, they're trying to take over the country. And I mentioned those oligarchs. They're the ones trying to take over this country. It's gone beyond corporations that have been governing, been in control of the, there it is, control, been in control of our government. It's gone beyond that. It's like they're taking the control out of the Congress people whom they've been passing the money down for the purses. Now remember, now I am speaking for entertainment purposes only. Entertainment purposes only. And I know this sounds bleak, but if you want to say, how would this country get broken down? How would civil war really, because that's what I had been asking, because that's the energy of the alignments of the stars that we are getting. I know that they talk about weather manipulations, and I have a story behind that because I'm talking to Spirit about that. I want proof. I want undeniable proof that the weather is being manipulated. And within that, I will say, take in consideration planetary alignment and the way that our weather is happening. Not just that the earth is warming up, not just that the volcanoes under the oceans that are going to begin erupting, because within that is lava in the earth. That could be part of the global warming, or the earth warming up. Not the only reason. It's a multi factors in. Multiple factors taking place. I'm just sharing, speaking, and talking. Use your noggin. Come on, let's all turn on the light. Turn it on. Need it brighter? Okay. Put on your thinking cap. Research. Don't just go with the flow of the wind. Don't just go with the waves of the ocean going back and forth, back and forth. This is a lot, I know. Promise you I'm going to settle down. I hope. I spoke about Netanyahu. Let me see. Let's breathe, everybody. How many have done the pineal gland exercise that I read about? Put it in there in the comments if you have. What did you think of it? How did it get your day going? How did it make you feel? You have a big brain. Here's another thing that they're firing. Why are we talking about firing, getting rid of our generals in the Pentagon? Why is that a target of firing the Pentagon? Are they stupid? Stuck on stupid. Maybe that's better. They are stuck on stupid. OMG. And in all of this is the world is watching. How you gonna have peace talks for Ukraine in Saudi Arabia with only Russia and the US there? and not Ukraine, and expect them to go along with it. What the? I swear, when I'm on the other side, I want to read the fine print of the soul contract that I agreed to come down here. I want to see the fine print. What did you not show me? I agreed to this, you agreed to this. We all agreed to this in the most benevolent way, right? Okay. Yeah. You're firing individuals that don't agree with you. You're going to get rid of, and has mentioned these individuals by name because they didn't agree with you. So you're going to fire them and only surround yourself with people whom agree with you. And every press conference that Diaper Don has, he has Musty Musk right there with him, saying what we should be doing in this country. What's that old saying that I used to hear all my life because of this? I'm going to say this to Musty Musk. Go back to Africa. Go back. No, better yet, light up your rocket ship and take your ass to Mars. You want to go there so bad? Take Diaper Don with you. Take J.D. Vance's sugar daddy with you, Peter Thiel. Take them all. Go to Mars. Have a nice time. Leave us alone. OMG. Okay. We still can be love and light in these dark times, right? We're the light shining. So, if that's not enough, just think about it. Just think about it. Don't worry, he's going to be there because they are already in these other countries already doing things. They're already manipulating the systems in the background. They're already doing it. Yes, we need to break down, but we need to do it in a more benevolent way. So, how can we do it? We can boycott. Don't give them your money. I'm not telling you don't file your taxes. I'm not saying that. But what would happen if nobody filed their taxes and there really was no money for them to grab? Because they sure feel like they can take your money and dictate where it should and should not grow. You shouldn't have it as an American citizen, but oh, I can have it right here within my company. That's some BS. Stacked on top of some BS. So, shall we then just want to make sure I've said everything that I've said before I share the other parts that I want to say. But look into ways that you can protest. Look into ways that you can stop them. Because within this country, I don't know if it's going to be necessarily a civil war. Us fighting them, I think it's going to happen in a breakdown mixed with natural disasters that don't get addressed, that don't get to be able to be taken care of. And then when you mix that in with people whom they don't have an income, because the jobs are being taken away, the people whom have had housing assistance or food stamps that are being taken away, and you've taken away the farmers' contracts, so these personal home farmers that have been generational farmers and their families for generations, family farms gone because corporations taken over. When you have all of this, let's just all put it into a big pot. I think that's how the breakdowns are going to happen. And I hadn't even mentioned about the sickness and disease. I will say this too. whether you believe that anything of viral situation is natural or man-made, regardless, when it comes along, it's there. Period. That's it. That's all. What are you going to do then? We got in Texas, here in the United States, we used to have, measles was eradicated. We hadn't had a case of measles for a long period of time. And then all of a sudden, with the bucking of everything, measles started popping up. In Texas, they're having a measles outbreak. But here's the kicker. It's now in New Mexico. But yet they want to sit up there and say there's been no connection, where they haven't been able to link the connection between the measles that are in Texas and New Mexico. But here's a clue. The states are right next to each other. Positive if I'm not being positive. I apologize if I'm not being positive, Patty, today. It's a clown show. Anyway, in a clown car. Lord, have mercy, Jesus. Father, help us all. Okay, that is seriously a sarcastic thing that I like to say. But I would say this. This is the perfect time for you to focus on. I had every intention on coming on here doing our I ams. Speaking what we are. But this is the perfect time for you to focus on developing your intuition, your inner guidance, you. Because you need to be guided in the most benevolent way. Guided. Trust yourself of what you're feeling and hearing and knowing, what's coming to you, your dreams, your visions, what you've been hearing. Don't count it as, oh, you going crazy. Don't count it as, oh, that's just me. If you want to say that may just be me, set it on the back burner and don't forget about it. Write things down. Write down your dreams. Write down those thoughts. I once told somebody, don't be so hard on yourself. If you have an imagination, then you feel like, you're very imaginative. The imagination is just going crazy. Because within those imaginations are visions. Within that imagination is your guidance. You see things and hear and know that is for you. For your benefit. Trust yourself. That's another key on developing your intuition. Is trusting yourself. Trust is huge. Huge. Because the guidance, whether you hear it, see it, feel it, know it, sense it, is so soft and subtle. You have to go within. You have to trust yourself. You have to. Got my little heating pad on and it's hot. Turn that off for a minute. Oh, okay. Let me share with you what I plan on doing, and please let me know what you think. So, those of you, the children of the Lost One and the Lost Teachings of Atlantis, those of you who know that I read this book. And I read it in its entirety. And it took me a minute. Half of what I did was outside. And I live under an airport, the runway. So you hear the airplanes taking off and landing. So if that was for a lot of people was an annoyance, and there was a lot of people who did not listen to the book, I am sure, based upon that, okay? And the other half I did inside. Now, there was a lot of people who have not heard it. And I intend to come on live more often, even in the evening. I'm trying to get my schedule out and about so that I can do this more. So what I was thinking, to read it live, reread it, and I read it live, but I'll do it in the evening time. so it can reach an audience that did not hear it, so that it can reach an audience who didn't want to hear any noise, that felt distracted. And in addition to that, I was going through my own personal thing with my eyes and my revolt and rebellion, and I was not accepting glasses at all. And so a lot of the struggle that I was having was because I wasn't seeing clearly. I was having a hard time. I would even move the glasses trying to see the words that I was reading. And at times I would stop because I would say my eyes or my head. So, raise your hand if you think I should reread it, especially since this information is key for what we are going through right now. I know there's a 60-second delay. And would you listen to it if I read it on live? So, that is my intention. And that's what I plan on doing. Yeah. So, shall I read an oracle card so that we can keep this going, so that we can, because once again, I didn't even say everything. You know, I started writing down stuff just so that I can remember. And of course, I had an extremely long day yesterday, and that really kind of, you know, everything is in its perfect timing as well. We all have we are exactly where we are supposed to be. Always. We are exactly where we are supposed to be. Nothing is by accident. Everything, there is purpose in everything. Okay? So I can't be upset about my day yesterday. I mean, it wasn't horrible. It was just long and early, and my head was feeling a certain way. I don't like to claim any form of sickness. I'm just sharing and speaking. So without claiming it, I was acknowledging the way my head was feeling, because it was feeling different. And the only conclusion that I could come up with was that I was so open the day before, all the way up until I went to bed. I even had gotten out of the bed because stuff was still coming to me, and I had to go, calm myself, because I knew I had an early morning. I had to get up at like 3:30. I knew I had an early morning, and I'm trying to get me some sleep. So I'd like to think that that was the reason why my head was feeling the way that it was feeling. In addition to, as my intuition, and not necessarily the intuition, as an empath has been expanding, and how I've been feeling people to the masses, just like, so when something is new for me, I have to step back and make sure it's not real as far as a medical situation. I have to make sure that it's when I step into the feeling, if I can say honestly, that's not me, then it's what I'm feeling on everybody else. It's what I'm feeling all around me. And within that, I can let it go. So, and the way that my head was feeling was different. And so I was in that space. So anyway, that was the reason. I'm here now, and let's go for this. Let's get a card for where, because I've spoke about a whole lot of negativity, but yet necessity for people to know, and we are where we are. All right, so oracle card. Oh, look, did you see that one? He flew out, so that's the one for today. Let me grab it. Jeez, he flew way over here. Okay. Alrighty. Ha! Did we not get this one blissed? The Griot, number 19. Have we gotten this one before? He got his little musical instrument and them sunflowers and the sun and so on and so forth behind him. All right. The Griot, number 19. That thing flew out like it was trying to go out the door. All right. The Oracle card says, yay, is the energy of the moment. Yay is the energy of the moment. Things are about to get really good. It is safe to be optimistic. Okay. There is no other shoe dropping. In fact, put on your cute shoes and dance. I'm going to be putting on my cute hat in a minute. As soon as it comes. People are naturally drawn to your light. Your love is your light. Radiant and shine your splendor. You have nothing to hide. The Griot ancestor illuminates your path with warmth and positivity, encouraging you to embrace your true self, express your creativity, and bask in the blessings of life. The ancestral memory to this is the Griot is depicted by a Griot of Mali, strumming his kora in front of the great mosque of Janae Griots. Apologies if it's mispronounced. Okay. Griots are talented oral historians who sing, tell stories, and create music with scholarly lessons. Now, the ancestral medicine. Allow that inner confidence you feel to radiate outward. Hold your head up high and smile. Be open to opportunities for prosperity in love, money, and success. Now, the reverse to this, the setback is temporary. Beware of looming pessimism and self-doubt. Remember, trust yourself. You need the gift of play to get back to yourself. You are not seeing how truly blessed you are. The sun is the tarot card, and the affirmation is, my future looks bright. That's wonderful right there. So, a lot of those messages have kind of been the same within this of the cards that we've been pulling lately. They've been kind of the same. So, that's something to think about right there. Now, okay, with you saying that we're needing to learn how to play, one of the other things that I've thought about doing, and I just got to make sure, and I would have to learn, get the angles of the camera and all that kind of stuff, is like Boggle. You know how to play that game Boggle, to where it's a square and it's got like 16 different or 20 different, depending on how big the Boggle thing is, and then you have 1 or 2 minutes to find as many words that you can find, whatever direction, backwards, diagonal, but they all got to, connect without skipping over anything. And anyway, I do that for myself for a game. I have games, this is a suggestion, board games and so forth that you can do in case there's a power outage and you're at home and you're looking, needing stuff to do, because there's some dark times coming. I still feel power outages, just saying. Anyway, that we play Boggle on here. I thought about doing that, and that we can do it in a way of, you type the words that you find, you put them in the chat, but you don't push the send button until the timer is up, and then we can see who got what of words and who scored the highest, blah blah blah. Not in a competition, but in a way that we come together in play, in fun, and keeping our minds sharp, keeping that brain noggin going. And maybe we can have some talented homeschoolers who like to send messages with their mother's YouTube in a creative way, that they can exercise their brain, being as they're exercising their creativity in the first place. Do know I thought that was hilarious. I got a good chuckle out of that one. So kudos to you for your creativity in your form of distraction. So, All love and light here. Please hit that thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Please share. He said so cheeky. Because this is all in the most benevolent way. We've got to come together. How we come together, we are all connected. We are all doing this change together, and we are holding on with our life jackets, or whatever you want to say, whatever you want to call it. We are here. We're doing this. There is so much of all of this. Well, hey, Scrabble sounds good too. Scrabble sounds good too. How would we do Scrabble? I have the Scrabble thing, but I don't think we can do Scrabble. I don't know how to, Anyway, I saw one lady who was sitting up knitting. Just sitting there knitting. And every now and then she'd look up. I was like, okay. I guess she likes, people like watching people knit. We got all kinds. But if that was her way of calming down, if that was another person's way of calming down, so, and relaxing and coming together and, being as one. I don't want to take up too much of your time because we're already at 1 hour, and this is live. And I will continue to do live. But these are my thoughts and my suggestions, and my shares, and everything has been for entertainment purposes only. I would like to send out protection. I send out protection, security, safety, and guidance to all the light workers, to all individuals who are standing up for what is right. Because people, I don't want to put energy to it, but us light workers, us psychics, us witches, us people of magic, us people of spiritual evolvement, that does not but those who it does not resonate with their energy, I send you away. I send love and light and protection, safety, security with those of us who are only standing for what is best, for the highest good of us all, in the most benevolent way, vibrationally matched. Okay? If you could decipher through that. So, let's say it together. I am love. I am light. I am all that I am. And so are you. So until next time, have the most benevolent day.